Michael. So we've got to talk about this Project 2025, yeah? I mean, Rev Corbett's been really clear about it. And it's not just another policy initiative, is it?
Amara, honestly, I've seen some of the headlines, but white supremacist mandate disguised as policy? That's a strong claim. What exactly is the core of what he's saying? I'm curious to dig into that because it sounds pretty heavy.
It absolutely is. And he doesn't mince words. He's saying that throughout 2024, he's warned Black America through countless videos that Project 2025 was, and still is, essentially a white supremacist mandate cloaked as legitimate policy. Its primary goal, from his perspective, is to preserve white male dominance, white male hegemony, actually. It's all about steering this nation, toward authoritarian rule. And he feels like many of us just didn't listen or didn't take it seriously enough, which led to some really difficult consequences in the last election cycles.
So the argument is that despite these warnings, millions of Black Americans either voted for Trump or, voted against Vice President Harris, and now we're facing the direct fallout. That's a pretty stark assessment. Are we talking about a failure to recognize the danger or a deliberate choice by some within the community?
He believes it's a bit of both, honestly. He pointed out that Project 2025's anti-Black agenda is the direct result of those choices. It's like, he said, elections have consequences. And one of them, in this instance, is that if Trump were to gain full control of all three branches of government, our options for recourse become severely limited. But, he quickly adds, they're not gone. We can still fight, politically, spiritually, psychologically, mentally, and in other areas. We just need a clear path, a manifesto, which he's trying to provide, starting with part 1, focusing on strengthening ourselves internally.
Okay, so let's jump into that, because I think a lot of people feel like, what can we actually do? When he talks about strengthening ourselves internally, what does that actually look like on a practical level? Are we talking about just thinking positive thoughts or something more actionable within our daily lives and communities?
No, it's totally actionable. He says it's about building disciplined minds, unified communities, and resilient spirits. It's like first internally. You can't fight effectively if you're not strong from within. That means actively working on our mental and spiritual fortitude. It's not just about good vibes. It's about genuine inner strength that comes from structure and purpose. He believes only a strong people can wage a lasting resistance against something as sinister as Project 2025. We've dealt with worse, right? And we rose like a phoenix, he says. So this internal work is fundamental. It's like if your house is falling apart inside, you can't really protect it from a storm outside, can you?
That makes a lot of sense. So it's about building resilience from the ground up, almost like a communal self-care, but with a very direct political purpose. It's about empowering ourselves to be better equipped to face external threats. He's talking about a shift in mindset and collective action that starts at home, in our communities, rather than waiting for external forces to save us. I'm really starting to see the connection between personal growth and political power here. It's not just abstract, it's foundational.
Absolutely, it's foundational. He emphasizes that this is still a democracy. Even if it's teetering, it's still we, the people. So if we can strengthen ourselves internally, we're better prepared to engage. He's going to outline specific policy measures in part 2 of his manifesto, but this internal preparation is key. It's setting the stage for effective external action. Our people have dealt with worse, and we've risen. This time, he wants us to be proactive and strategic from the inside out.
Okay, so that internal strengthening is vital, right? But then when we move to the next layer of solutions, the first thing he highlights is we must vote in every election. And that's first for a reason. He says we must honor those who fought for civil rights, especially voting rights, and protect these rights for future generations. Voter apathy and ignorance, they jeopardize these crucial rights. So it's vital to think critically and vote in every election.
I can see why that's first. But Amara, why do you think there's still so much apathy within parts of the Black community, or even voices that say voting doesn't matter or that it's just teaching Democrats a lesson? It feels like we've seen this play out before and the consequences seem clear, just like Corbett said.
He absolutely agrees. He points out that only a little over 50% of Black people voted in 2016 and 2024. Both times Trump won. He says that when Black voter turnout drops to that 50-60% range, things just don't go well for us. He's clear that obeying calls not to vote, even from seemingly pro-Black voices or for what might seem like good reasons, ultimately empowers white supremacists. He calls those voices pro-Black imposters. He says we have to connect the dots. Sitting out increases their chances of winning, and that directly leads to anti-Black policies being implemented. It's like when they say vote the couch, it's actually working against our own interests, making us disproportionately suffer.
That's a really powerful point about connecting the dots between individual voting decisions and the broader systemic impacts. It's not just about a specific candidate, but about maintaining our collective power. So the message is clear: show up, think critically, and vote in every single election, no matter what external voices might be trying to tell us. It's our foundational defense, essentially.
Precisely. And building on that, he says we must reject disinformation. He says we are living in an era where people prefer lies over the truth and entertainment over empowerment. And honestly, Michael, I totally see that. He states very simply that truth is not optional. It's freedom and power. Therefore, we will reject disinformation and those who push it. We need to seek truth tellers and experts and independently research to verify information before relying upon it. It's about arming ourselves with facts.
That's huge, because it seems like so much of what gets amplified on social media platforms is exactly that: lies and entertainment. It feels like truth, just isn't valued as much. How do we break through that though? Like, if people are actively choosing to consume things that make them laugh or distract them, even if it's not factual, how do we make them care about verifying information and seeking experts?
He believes we have to make it a conscious choice, a rebellion against that trend. He cites a recent commenter who told him she gets afraid when watching his videos because he's an attorney who knows what he's talking about, but she also acknowledged needing the information. He says, if you do experience fear from my videos, hopefully it causes you to want to fight. He's certainly not an entertainer, nor is he trying to make us laugh. This is serious, and it requires seriousness. He says that where truth is not valued and empowerment is replaced by entertainment, we're vulnerable. And we need to reject anti-intellectualism because it's a weapon of oppression that increases our vulnerability to white supremacy.
So it's about transforming that fear into fuel for action and recognizing that seeking knowledge isn't being white or disrespecting the grassroots, as some might claim. It's actually what our ancestors like Frederick Douglass, Du Bois, Fannie Lou Hamer, and Malcolm X built their movements on: reading, writing, and strategizing. It's about reclaiming education as our weapon, and he emphasizes that people who refuse to read and think critically cannot rule themselves. So we must walk in their path, right? No matter your educational background, it's about having that thirst for knowledge.
Precisely. That pursuit of knowledge is our escape, he says, not from our people, but from the powerlessness of illiteracy. And that leads directly to his next point, Michael. We must commit to morality. He emphasizes that immorality destroys us from within. It breaks families, dulls discipline, and opens the door for white supremacy to dominate without resistance. Think about that. When we live without moral standards, we hand our enemies the advantage. Righteousness, integrity, and accountability are not outdated. They are our armor.
I mean, that resonates deeply. I think about the rhetoric often used against Black communities, how immorality is frequently weaponized to justify systemic issues. So committing to morality isn't just about personal piety, it's a strategic move to deny our enemies ammunition. What does he mean by breaks families and dulls discipline? Are there specific areas he's focused on there?
He's very direct. He says we must restore respect for marriage between a man and a woman. He sees the family as God's structure for order, strength, and legacy. And he vehemently rejects culture that glorifies lust and dishonors commitment. Sexual responsibility for him means waiting until marriage so children are born in stability, not chaos. He believes this is foundational. When over 70% of our children are born out of wedlock, that absolutely weakens us as a community, making us vulnerable. He sees it as one of the holes that white supremacy exploits.
So the stability of the family unit, grounded in respect and traditional values, is seen as crucial to building resilience against external forces. It's like saying a strong foundation makes a strong house. It's not just a religious or social concept, it's a strategic imperative for collective strength. It's about restoring positive structures and practices that strengthen the community from within, making it harder for external forces to divide and conquer.
Exactly, Michael. It's about being truly strong, not just projecting strength. He believes that strong families rooted in morality create an environment where children are raised with stability and purpose. This provides them with the advantages they need to resist negative influences and thrive. That kind of internal strength and order is what enables us to push back effectively against systems designed to oppress us. It truly is our armor against those who would seek to destroy us from within and without.
So, moving from individual morality, he then shifts to collective action, emphasizing we must unite and stop all beefs. He's blunt, stating that petty beefs weaken us. Black men must honor and respect Black women, and Black women must do the same for Black men. Our youth must also honor and learn from our elders. Division, he says, serves our enemies, not our people. We rise only when we stand together in mutual respect, discipline, and purpose. It's a powerful call for internal harmony to present a united front.
That's a crucial point, because division is an age-old tactic of oppression. If we're fighting amongst ourselves, we can't focus on the larger battle. But what about economic power? How does that fit into his strategy of building a unified, resilient community that can defeat Project 2025? It seems like economic self-sufficiency would be a critical component.
It's absolutely critical. He stresses we will become financially literate. Economic power demands knowledge. He's advocating for us to teach financial literacy, business ownership, and investing within our own communities. He says, we have made money for the oppressor. Now we make money for our community. The stock market and entrepreneurship are power tools for independence. White supremacy destroyed past Black wealth, like in Tulsa, Black Wall Street, and Rosewood. But he declares we will rebuild that wealth and protect it this time. This isn't optional. Financial literacy is a non-negotiable tool for our independence and future. It's about empowering ourselves to create and control our own resources.
That's a powerful call to action. Economic empowerment is, it's definitely a way to build a strong foundation. And it ties back into that internal strength and discipline. It means taking control of our own financial destiny rather than being reliant on systems that might be designed to oppress us. It's about creating our own wealth and protecting it, learning from past generations who built successful communities.
Exactly. And he emphasizes that it's about being a strong people. We will build powerful bodies, disciplined minds, and strong spirits. Oppression thrives when we are weak or undisciplined. To resist it, we must be in top condition, physically, mentally, and spiritually. We will reject every substance, habit, and lifestyle that weaken us. Strength is not vanity. It is preparation for battle. A disciplined people cannot be dominated. So it's a holistic approach to empowerment, really.
And part of that is recognizing, our mission fields, our families and neighborhoods. Their stability is a testament to our manhood and womanhood. So, to continue building on this, he then issues a direct challenge to "we will be strong and supportive men." He emphasizes that Black men will be the backbone and support system of the Black woman, child, and community. We will never harm them. We will prepare, protect, and provide for them. We will love them through sacrifice and lead them through service. Our families and neighborhoods are our first mission fields, and their stability is a testament to our manhood. He ends this section with a clear, "I accept the challenge."
That's a very clear and resonant call to action for Black men, aligning with that earlier point about morality and family. It positions men not just as providers, but as protectors and spiritual leaders within the community, which is crucial for stability. But Amara, what about the role of Black women in this fight? Rev Corbett mentioned them voting in high numbers against Trump. How does he see their role evolving as we combat Project 2025?
He says, "We will keep rising as Black women." Most Black women voted against Trump and Project 2025, but even more will be required ahead. Whether single, married, mothers, or professionals, our sisters must continue to stand firm in confidence and divine purpose, including loving themselves, leading with excellence, raising disciplined children, pursuing mastery, and helping more Blacks vote in future elections. It's about rising to their full potential while still being deeply engaged in the fight for the community. And importantly, we've got to use social media strategically. Practically everyone's on social media platforms. They're the primary medium for shaping public opinion and disseminating information. He acknowledges much of its information is false, but withdrawal isn't an option. We must use these platforms strategically to organize, mobilize, and advance a pro-Black narrative while countering anti-Black propaganda.
So it's a comprehensive vision that empowers both men and women to take on distinct but equally vital roles, all while leveraging modern tools strategically. It's not about ignoring social media, but mastering it to advance our own narrative and counter the opposition. This is really about building a powerful, self-sustaining community capable of resisting and thriving against systemic threats, which is what the Black Manifesto is really all about, isn't it?
It absolutely is, Michael. It's about realizing that we've dealt with so much already, and like he says, we yet rose like a phoenix. This time, it's about not just rising, but strategically positioning ourselves to dismantle what seeks to dismantle us. It's a call for strength, unity, knowledge, and deliberate action from every angle. And that wraps up part 1 of the Black Manifesto, Defeating Project 2025. In part 2, he delves into the policy measures needed. It's a lot, but it's inspiring.
This has been an excellent conversation, and we want to thank y'all for being part of this sensitive subject. That's all the time we have, so we'll see y'all later. Thank you for joining us.
Michael, this conversation on the Black Manifesto has truly been, an awakening. It's clear the path forward requires not just strength, but also unity and unwavering purpose. A call to action we all need to heed.
Absolutely, Amara. The depth of Rev Corbett's insights in Part 1 lays a formidable groundwork for what's to come. It's about being prepared from the inside out.
Indeed. And remember, dear listeners, true power begins within. Until next time, stay strong, stay vigilant.
Thank you again to Amara Novu and to all of you for tuning in to this crucial discussion. We look forward to delving into Part 2 of the Black Manifesto very soon.